Mob Psycho Season 3. Oh my god, bro. We need to talk about episode 6 because after watching that, I was like, Season 3 of Mob Psycho has been so freaking solid all throughout the board, and last episode, episode 6 by the way, so good. There's so much things I could talk about, but in a quick bite-sized video, I'm gonna be talking about why this episode was freaking godlike and why it makes Mob Psycho one of the best freaking anime this year by far, with only that one episode. So the episode just kicks right off. It literally was a complete, so much happening from the get-go. I mean, you're seeing Dimple in his freaking god form and stuff, and how he finally got what he wanted after so long. That whole theme, that's like the main theme of the episode. Like, Dimple finally getting the power that he wanted, the absolute control that he wanted, but then regretting it, but it was too late when he was realizing like, oh, wait, this isn't what I actually wanted. It's freaking amazing, but let's just step by step. So let's just talk about how the freaking divine tree, you know, it's obviously shaped like Mob. Dimple was the one who like made it look like Mob, but it's super ironic that it looks like Mob because it's like he's betraying Mob in a way and betraying his trust, and in the very end something that resembles Mob is what ends him. In a way, he was always trying to quote-unquote take advantage of Mob, but when he finally had the opportunity to, he betrayed his trust, and then Mob quote-unquote was the thing that ended him, bro. And we need to talk about how good Yutaka Nakamura's animation was in this episode. I mean, just look at what you're seeing right now. If you don't know who this animator is, he's the one who did Deku vs Todoroki, for example, and he's made a lot of epic stuff. His animation style is just very evident, and in this episode, it's just freaking amazing, and I just really want to point that out because a lot of people are like, oh my god, Bones, oh my god, Bones, but no, in reality, it's like, oh my god, Bones, and mostly Nakamura. It's just so freaking symbolic, man. Like the tree, you know, it kept like sucking people's energy and just taking and taking and taking, and Dimple like was convincing himself, oh yeah, I'm making people happy, like I'm the god of this world now, I'm the king, nobody can stop me. But that was like starting to change when Mob was like, dude, you're destroying the city with your tree stuff and whatever, and he was like, oh really? Nah, that'll get fixed later, right? He's just trying to convince himself because he wanted the power for so long, and then he was like, oh wait, I mean, it makes sense, right? You finally get what you wanted for so long, but then because it was so driven by greed, you get to that position and then you see like, okay, what's next? And it's amazing because he mentions, freaking Dimple says, now I understand how amazing you are, Mob, because he has this power and you're not using it for evil. So it just puts you into perspective, you know, apart from making Mob an even cooler character, you see Dimple like, he immediately gets the power and he just, let's just take advantage of this shit. It's so good, man. Again, re-emphasizing like how the divine tree kind of represents Dimple's greed, and how like it, you know, he keeps taking and taking from people instead of giving. He was believing, manipulating everyone and thinking that he was giving them happiness, but in reality he was just like taking advantage of a whole mass of people, manipulating their minds to think that they're happy. There's this one line that he says like Mob's like, oh, you're controlling people's hearts without them wanting to do what they want to do, and then Dimple's like, yeah, but we live in a society that has laws and norms. If you're oblivious to it, then you don't have any problems. Mob Psycho again, it just really makes you think sometimes. Like, sure, it would have been like cliche, I guess, if Dimple was like, oh yeah, you're right, I only wanted a friend. It's not like that because it's like, you're too into this shit, bro. You already put your ticket in. It's too late. It was done so well because he was already so deep into the freaking manipulation and stuff that the divine tree just became like this manifestation of everyone's emotions and consciousness coming into one. But instead of that, you can look at it as his greed, as his like manipulative side, and just how he had to fight that. And in the end, he lost because it was too much. He already went too deep into it. That being his end. And how again, it looks like Mob, his only freaking friend, which he had and trusted, threw it away for something that was driven by his greed. Man, this episode was absolutely just, and in the end, he makes it like it never happened, like everyone just forgot about it. It's great because I guess it gives him like a redeeming factor in his character. But man, he is such a good character, bro, because at first I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, friendship and whatever. But then it's like, wait, you're not getting away from this that easily. He gets like punished for his greediness. It's just so good. Really teaches the viewer like sometimes you're so freaking deep into your greed that you have to pay for it. And in Dimple's case, it was his death. So yes, that was Mob Psycho episode 6. It was amazing, man. It's definitely, that episode alone makes it really, really, really a contender for anime of the year easily. It was just a whole freaking 10 out of 10 episode. We're not gonna talk about how Dimple is literally straight out of JoJo.